Hello all, welcome back to P2A NWLAB. Today is the second day of switching concept. Today I will cover VLANs and trunk port and access port. So let's revise. Yesterday we read about the VLANs theory part and created one basic lab. So I am just opening the lab. So I already opened a lab. So yesterday we discussed 3 points. Scenario 1, if the port is configured without any VLAN and the IP subnet are same, it will be reachable. If the IP subnet is configured the same, but the port is in different VLAN, it will be not reachable. If the port are part of the same VLAN and the same IP subnet, it will be reachable. So today I will use the same topology for lab purposes, and I have added one more switch in this lab, ASW2. So let's configure this switch. So as you see in the ASW1 switch, yesterday we already configured and we have modified some changes. So as per the diagram, I have configured these switches. Like these three PCs are part of the VLAN 10, and these three PCs are VLAN 20, and these three PCs are VLAN 30. So if you want to verify, so go on the switch and show VLAN. So if you see here 10, 20 and 30, I have configured 3 VLANs and I have added this port into this VLANs. Okay. So today I will configure same VLANs in this switch, because if you see here, so here I have added two PC in VLAN 10 and two PC in VLAN 20 and two PC in VLAN 30. So I will connect this ASW1 to ASW2. So let's try to connect cable connectivity. So if you see in ASW2, I have not configured anything even. So enable, so VLAN. So if you see here, there is no VLAN configuration in these switches. So what I will do, I will configure the same VLAN and I will add the VLAN into the same ports. Okay. So I will first configure the VLAN. Yesterday I already configured the VLAN. So I will use the same config to add the VLAN. So okay, so copy this config and just go on the switch in global configuration mode, config T, and paste it here. So I have configured the VLANs in this ASW2 switches. I will also configure some host name in the switches, so there is no confusion. Host name ASW2. Okay. So let's verify the configuration. So if you see, there is 3 VLANs, but I have not added any port in this VLANs, right? So what I will do, I will add this port in VLANs. So config T. Today I will use the range command to add port in VLANs. So like suppose this is the E0 by 0 and E01 is the VLAN 10. So I will configure same interface range E0 by 0 and 1, and this is the part of VLAN 10 switch port access VLAN 10. Okay, and these two are part of VLAN 20. So I will use same, change the E0 by 2 to E0 by 3. E0 by 2 to E0 by 3. E0 by 2 to E0 by 3. Okay. E0 by 2 to E0 3. Okay. 0 by 2 and 3. Okay, switch port access VLAN 20. Let's one more this two I have to configure. So E1 by 0, E1 by 0 and 1 by 1. Okay, so I have to add this in switch port access VLAN 30. So I will do end and I will verify the config. So okay, so if you see here, so it is configured with the right configuration. Okay, and I will try to ping from so as you know, like from same VLAN, it should be pingable, as you know, but it is in different switch, so it is pingable or not. So let's try. It should not pingable because it is in different switch, so it should not pingable. Let's try. I will try. Okay, so I will try to ping from 10.1 to 10.4. Okay, so if you do 10.4, it is not pingable. It is showing destination, host and reachable, right? So let's try with other PC. Like I am trying to ping from 20.3 to 20.4. Okay, let's open 20 PC. I have to open CMDB and ping 192.168. If you see the IP of this machine, I think it's 20.2, 20.3. Okay, it is 20.3. Let's try with 20.4 ping. Ping 192.168, 20.4. So it is not pingable. So for if you want to ping this to IP, so we need to configure some switching protocol that is called the trunk. So let's try the trunk. So what is the trunk? So trunk can carry multiple VLAN traffic. Okay, it is used to connect between two switches from so if you discussed, so from here to here, if you want to connect from same VLAN subnets, to you need to configure trunk. So let's try to configure trunk. So first I will make a label trunk. Okay, and trunk and in trunk have two trunking protocol are two types, like ISL and like IEEE 802.1q. So ISL is the internet switch link, is a Cisco proprietary, and 802.1q is it is a open standard. And access port is a port that is used to connect end devices like computer, IP phones, like that. Okay, so let's try to configure uh, trunk. So I will go in ASW1. Okay, and config T means configure terminal, and here is the port 2 by 1. So interface to interface Ethernet 2 by 1. Switch port. So let's verify, is there any trunk port or no. Do so interface trunk is the command to verify the trunk. So it is not showing any trunk. I am going to verify from here. So interface trunk, and let's try access switch to so interface trunk. So there is no trunk configured, right? Okay, so let's try to configure in ASW1 config T interface E2 by 1 switch port trunk encapsulation .1q to configure IEEE, and switch port mode trunk to configure the trunk. Okay, so for trunking I have used these two commands. Okay, so I will make a note in notepad. trunk configuration. So these two are the command to configure the trunk. And if you want to verify, so you can verify from and show interface trunk. So interface trunk is the command to verify. Okay, so if you verify, so it is showing E/2/1, it is allowing the trunk, okay, 802.1q. So interface trunk is the command to check the trunking configuration. Okay, verify trunk configuration. So interface trunk. Okay, so I will tell you one more thing. Okay, let's try to check ASW2. Okay, so ASW2, if you see, so interface trunk. So I have not configured here any trunk protocol, but it is showing ET1/2. It is in auto mode, right? So auto mode means there is a protocol that is called DTP. DTP stands for dynamic trunking protocol. So it is if it is mode in auto, so it will be auto configured. So if you see, so interface ETH ET1/2 switch port. So see, so operation mode is trunk. It is in dynamic auto, means it will be auto configure. It is in dynamic desirable, it will not configure. So if you want to disable, you can disable. So if it is enabled dynamic auto, so means if you configured one side switches, so it will configure in auto other side switches. Okay, so like here if you see, I mentioned DTP also. DTP stands for dynamic trunking protocol. It is used to create a dynamically trunking. So I configured here only. It will auto configured in here. So let's verify the ping command. Okay, to in same subnet it is reachable or not. So earlier, as you see, it is not reachable. But let's try. So see. The 10.4 is reachable from this is from switch 1 and this is from switch 2. So from switch 1 to switch it is reachable. So today our output is like so these all the access port. Okay, so is this all our access port. So I will make a note like I will put a line. Okay, line, and I will put some label access port AWS access port. Let's try this symbol. So in down all are the access port. So if you see in down, this is little bit okay. So all these are port access port, and from switch to switch it is a trunk port. So today our output is like I make a note day 2 output. Day 2 output, the scenario first, SCE NARIO scenario first. if if the if the same VLAN are configured on two different switch, it can't ping. There is no reachable. There is no reachability. Scenario 2, SCENARIO scenario 2, if 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 we configured if we configured trunk trunk port, configure trunk between two switch, it, the reachability, it will reachable, right? It will be reachable. So today this I can bold it, and reachability, this I can also bold. Okay, so today our output is like, if the same VLAN are configured on two different switches, there is no reachability. But if we configure trunk between two switches, it will be reachable, right? So for I am just troubleshooting command mention, to mention verify config, verify VLANs use show VLAN, verify trunk use show interface trunk. These two command you need to verify. Troubleshooting. Okay, these are the two command. Okay, I will tell you one more thing. Let's open the switch. So as you verify, so interface trunk, so interface trunk. So as you see, in Ethernet 1 by 2, it is allowing 4 VLANs, right? 1, 10, 20, and 30. But if I want to allow only 2 VLAN, suppose if I want to allow in this trunk port only 2 VLAN, so how we can allow? Can you guess someone? So there is one command, config t interface e 2 by 1 switch port trunk allowed VLAN. So I want to allow VLAN 10 and 20. Okay. So earlier it was showing 4, but I want to allow only 2 VLAN in this trunk port. Okay. So let's do this and let's verify. Do show interface trunk. Okay, so it is not taken 2 by 1. Okay, 1 by 2. Okay. Okay, sorry, I have configured in wrong. I have actually here it is a different 1 by 2 I have configured, but let's configure. We need to configure on ASW1. Okay, so enable show interface trunk. So now it is showing 4. Okay, so if I want to configure only 2, so I can specify interface E2 by 1. So in, sorry, switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10, VLAN 10 and 20. Okay, do so interface trunk. So yeah, if you see here, so now it is showing only 2 VLAN allowed. So this is the command. Actually in this I have configured wrong, so that's why later it was not reflected. But yeah, if you want to allow a specific VLAN, you can configure this. Okay, so I will make also note of this. Okay, configure specified, sorry, allowed specified specified VLAN. This is very important. This command is used in real scenario. So because in company we have allowed multiple, so we have to verify the particular and if your manager is asking to allow only 2 billion, you can allow. Okay, so for today, now I am closing the session. I hope you have enjoyed this. This video is informative. Thank you for your watching this video.